Yeah, so again, right here, a SPY at the open, right? Rocket ship, you got an indication right here, right? Also, your 2-minute EWO was looking good. So if you were doing either one, that looked good. If you were scalping the pre-market, that looked good. You got a warning sign right here. You could see it faded, pulled back as soon as it broke and held VWAP, which was the second candle. I would have got out. So you made money from here to here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm glad you said you would have gotten out because I would have too.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing too, of course, is always if I enter here and it rides up and I get this super trend indicator, this is where I shed some. So if I had 10 contracts, right? Now I have 5 left. That's off of this point. Then I would have let this ride down here. It would have broke VWAP. This would have made me nervous, and I did not like the second candle. The second candle underneath means for sure get out. Why? Because I'm in calls and they went below VWAP, which tells me run away. Now, let's look at the rest of the day. Let's say you were scalping the rest of the day. Every time it went above or below this critical level, or of course VWAP, you guys could play it, right? So don't forget that that's an all-day situation. That is not like a one and done because it's giving you a point of reference, which means you could have bought here. Of course, this would be to the opposite side, right? There's a put. Here's your call. And then you would have rode the rest of the day. See how it came down? It touched, it came down, it touched, and then it was gone the rest of the day. Do you see it?
Yep.
So if you guys are scalping these, don't forget this isn't like a one and done at the bell. This is you can use this for quite a bit as a reference.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yep. So don't ever forget about that though. It's not just a bell situation. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla looks like it did almost exact same thing. It did.
Look at
Tesla
that.
is almost a complete mirror image here. Tesla at 211 is what you guys had marked. Yep, I can see you were using all this. Good marks, by the way. I like that. So same drill again right here on Tesla, right? So if you're looking at Tesla on the scalp, you're waiting for the break. There's your break. It did touch down below, did touch down below. You'd have to be very careful in here. Came back up to VWAP, and of course, we don't like the super trend. This is where we shed some, and as soon as it broke VWAP and held, we get out. So this one was a little bit tougher in this range. But again, we're looking at this critical level, and then of course, once it got past it, it could never come back down below VWAP. So another good thing, don't forget, is if you wait till 10 o'clock, right? This is like the 10 o'clock line. If you wait for 10 o'clock, you're going to get rid of this morning chop, right? Once the morning chop is gone, then we get to evaluate what is left over. And you can see here that it was then inside of that critical level that we were talking about, broke to the upside. There's
Oh,
your
look.
level.
Wait for the 2-minute EWO.
Yep, exactly. All right. So anyways, same drill again. Let's look at the 2-minute on Tesla. Now with the 2-minute, you can see that it was already on the break at the open, which was right here. There's your 2-minute confirmation right here. You just got another confirmation because of course it then breaks our pre-market level to the upside. But the cool thing is if you were doing this off the 2-minute, right, you bought it. So anyways, if you bought it here, right, and you used your 25 to 40% rule on your call, pops up, and gone for the rest of the day, and you bought it at this level. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So,
Absolutely.
yep.
What's the 25 to 40% rule?
That's on your 2-minute EWO. If you're doing 2-minute EWO, not scalp, those are two different things. You have to allow at least a 25 to 40% maximum loss on the trade. So if you paid $1 for your contract, you could lose up to 40 cents, which means at the end of the contracts, they're going to be worth about 60 cents. That's the maximum loss we'll take. They all have to still make sense though. So if you entered the trade here, right, and it goes back up here. Now remember, we always want to shed. If you had 10 contracts, first big pullback, we shed, right? You shouldn't just be holding the thing, hold the line forever because you're going to miss out an opportunity to make money from here to here, right? Then once it pulls back, it's up to you, right? So as long as soon as you go green, you want to have your stop at or at least what you paid. So right here, let's say you paid $1, okay? Right at that purchase line. So as soon as it pops up, I move my stop up to about $1.10. No matter what, I make money on the trade. Even if it came all the way back down to $1.10, I still made money on that trade, right? Otherwise, we hold the line, we leave the mouse alone, we set the stop at or above what you paid, and let it run the rest of the day. Now, a good rule is, if you guys are especially new traders, if you bought like one contract, as soon as it goes green, let's say you paid $1 and it goes green, set your stop at $1. Try practicing this and let it go and see what happens. Worst case scenario, comes back, sells off. It was an even trade, right? Best case scenario, it teaches you to leave your hand off the mouse so it can do this, right? And now you've just 3x'd your trade. So what you once paid $1 is now worth $3. So you went from $100 to $300 on this trade. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Mhm.